What's up, everybody? It's KR086, and yeah, I know it's been a minute, but I'm back. I don't know how many times I don't know how I'm going to do the video structure at this point because I am constantly busy right now. However, good things did happen. But most importantly, I want to talk to you about one particular thing, and that is Superman. Because I went to go see that movie a week ago, okay, to the date of when I'm recording this, surprisingly, a little earlier in the morning last week. But still, I went to go see the new Superman movie, and it was amazing. But before I get into that, well, I gotta explain a few recent changes to my thing. As you can see, I'm wearing a do-rag, which is something I don't normally do. I haven't worn do-rag since I was a little kid, and my dad thought it was a good idea. But there's a reason why, as you can see. Very as of Monday, my sister finally did my hair, and yeah, I got myself a little haircut. But I also decided to do this. Yep, got some coils going on because I intend to finally get some short dreadlocks. Hopefully, as if I edited this right, you should see like my inspiration for what I want to do with my hair. But yeah, basing it off of Miles Morales. Also, another thing. So there's this place in Noonan called Full Circle Toys and Collectibles, if I remember correctly. Let me just double check on that. Because I really want y'all. If you live in Georgia, if you live in the Noonan area, basically, you should definitely check this place out. Yeah, it has some great things. I mean, they got everything in there. They got some cool Power Ranger toys. Hopefully, if there are any, they got some Power Ranger toys, collectibles, like even signed collectibles. There's a legitimate. They have. What's the best thing I can put to you? This. They have a signed helmet, a Red Ranger helmet, with like a lot of different Power Rangers cast members. It's crazy, and it's crazy expensive. They even have a Legacy Morpher. Well, not any Legacy Morpher. They have the Master Morpher from Power Rangers, or if I remember correctly, Super Ninja Steel, the crossover episode, the anniversary episode. I would say it was great. It's so good. Oh, they have so many good stuff. They have so much good stuff. But most importantly, I was able to find. I wasn't expecting this, but I was able to get this. My other belt, but the most important belt of all. Okay, like if you know, I'm a huge Kamen Rider fan, and I'm a huge Kamen Rider Decade fan. Now, look, there's only one little issue I have with this belt. Okay, you see, it didn't come with the cards. Okay, but Full Circle Toys does have the cards available as well. They just haven't priced them yet because they're still getting some new things in. But still, I mean, it's pretty much like secondhand. But still, the fact that I actually have the Decade belt, oh yeah, and the Neo Decade belt, Decade Driver, the Neo Decade Driver. I'm so happy about that. And once I get the cards, I'll be even happier. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Anyways, but yeah, I've had some geeked out moments for a while, like Full Circle Toys and video games. Definitely check it out, okay? Because they got video games too, like some. I mean, pretty much from every system that's came out. They got some PlayStation games, PlayStation systems as well. all the way up to from the original PlayStation all the way up to PlayStation 5, including the PS Vita and the PlayStation Portable. So if you check that out, you might be able to find some of the games that you really want to get, the collectibles, or some games that you still want to play. Dude, I'm so happy. They got Xbox. They even got the Sega Genesis games like the Dreamcast, Sega Saturn 32X, Sega CD, the Sega Genesis, the Master System, Game Gear. Let's see, Xbox, of course, all the Xbox systems like Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X or Series S, and Nintendo games like pretty much all the Nintendo things. I'm talking about the original Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the SNES or the SNES, the Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii U, Switch. Not the Switch 2 yet, but yeah, it'll get there. The Nintendo DS, the Nintendo 3DS, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, and Virtual. Even the Virtual Boy? Oh my god, Lord. And even all the old school, like the 3DO, the Jaguar, the Atari, the Atari 7800, Atari 2600, Lynx, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx CD, and the TurboGrafx 16. Oh, good lord, that's a lot of different games. I forgot all about the 3DO. Ooh, the 3DO. I remember back in the day, I almost kind of wanted to get the 3DO, but yeah, it's probably a good thing I didn't get it because it wasn't that great of a system from what I've heard. But anywho, oh, if they have, ooh, why am I looking this up? Because I know they probably don't have it. I mean, that is a rare game to find. You know, the original Xenogears on PS1 and on disc. That's a rarity to find, people. Ooh, but they have Threads of Fate, and I've always wanted to play Threads of Fate. And PlayStation, y'all dropping the ball. Anyways, regardless, I'm losing the plot. I've been talking about toys, full circle so much, but I need to, change that up a little bit. Anywho, let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this particular video, and that is Superman, the movie. The James Gunn directed Superman movie, and given that it's been about 2 weeks, it's been out for about 2 weekends. I can sit here and talk about it. Okay, I'm going to sit here and talk about it. I am going to give you a spoiler warning. Spoiler warning in advance. But I'm going to go over first and foremost. I'm going to go over the main feelings I had from this movie, and that is, it was great. It was good. As I was talking to a new friend last night at a little party I was at, and we were just discussing like all DC and Marvel and all that stuff, and she had brought up this point of saying like, because she's a little bit older than me, she had watched the original Superman, the 1970s Superman movie with Christopher Reeves as, the title character, Superman, and Clark Kent. And she pointed this out, that was one of the movies that had such a good vibe to it that like I was glued to my seat at the movie theater. She was glued to the seat at the movie theater. Like, she didn't need to pee, she didn't need to get up, she wasn't trying to figure out what time it was, she wasn't looking at her watch, she was just focused on the movie. And that's exactly how I felt about this movie. It was so good, so wonderful. it it captured the vibe of the original 1970s Superman movie somewhat, and it's not even like a renewal of that particular story. It's his own story, and it's good. Superman actually feels like a real Superman. You know, he's actually trying to take care. Like, one thing about, like, don't get me wrong, I loved Man of Steel. I loved what they were trying to do with the DCEU, even though some of it failed miserably. The original Suicide Squad movie, there were edits in it that it shouldn't have been, and it was obvious that that's where the reshoots came in. And here I'm explaining certain issues I had with the original DCEU, which, um, a lot of people were upset about Superman, ended the life of Zod during Man of Steel at the end of that movie. But now everybody's all for Henry Cavill Superman. Don't get me wrong, I love Henry Cavill as Superman, but I didn't have an issue with that either because I understood what he had to do. He had to choose between uh, saving this family or allowing Zod to kill this family that he was. It was like he had no other choice but to. But there were a lot of issues. I mean, they were rushing to Justice League, obviously. Like I heard recently that Man of Steel, that Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice was supposed to be Man of Steel 2, technically, and you can see little hints of it. Now that I think about it, not to mention there was so many cut content from each of these movies that came out after Man of Steel, like Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. It has its own like director's cut, and the director's cut makes that movie way better than what the actual cinematic release was, theatrical release. I'm sorry. There, same thing with Justice League. The Justice League movie that came out in theaters initially, but the Snyder cut that came out during COVID, brother, why didn't we get that movie? That's the movie we were waiting for. It was supposed to be a two-parter. I mean, it was 4 hours long. However, it has one of the best. It had the only best moment of Grant. Well, second. It had the only best moment of that particular Flash of all time. Okay, the single best moment was when he's trying to. He's the only one left after they failed the first time, and he goes back in time and does that scene is just beautiful. I love that scene. And of course, the funny thing where he's like, they're going up against a revived Superman, and they're like, oh, he can see me. He can see me. That scene. Oh, goodness gracious. Why? The itching. Anyways. Sorry. I keep going. But I'm getting into that whole little thing again. But, the DCEU had its problems. And there were some good things. Like the Wonder Woman movie in the DCEU. Great. The second movie, like I was explaining, like me and my new acquaintance or new friend, I would say, my new geek friend. We were talking last night. Yeah, that movie had too many plot points, too many things happening all at once, and that was the biggest issue with that movie. With the second Wonder Woman movie, the Flash movie. Well, I'm pretty sure I've already talked about my issues with the Flash movie, but let's go over it again. That was complete garbage. The only good thing, there's only two good things about that movie, and that was Michael Keaton returning and replaying the role of Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Sasha Calle as Superman. Supergirl. However, the rest of that movie was. This is supposed to be a movie that's inspired by Flashpoint. It was god awful, and that whole Chrono Bowl thing made no sense to me at all. Especially after you have seen what we saw with Justice League, Snyder Cut. Okay, it I get that the Snyder Cut is not the canon cut to the that DCEU, but after that was bad timing. You know what I mean? It was the worst timing. The Snyder Cut comes out, and then a couple of years later, you got the Flash movie, and the Flash movie just sucks. Much balls. Aquaman was great. The first Aquaman was great. I haven't even seen the second one, but I heard the second one was not so good. Regardless of certain turds. Anyways, so like I was saying, the original that DCEU had its merits. Oh yeah, the original Shazam. There we go. Shazam movie. That was good. I like that one. It was great. The Suicide Squad movie, that was great. Everything else failed. We didn't even get a Cyborg movie. How did we not get a Cyborg movie? We didn't even get John Jones, the Martian Manhunter in there. Actually, there's so many missed opportunities for that movie. With that whole universe. But we got James Gunn running the things, and, well, like I said, this movie was great. They did incorporate a lot of different characters, but it was also not an origin story. Yeah, that's the best. That's the big thing right there. It wasn't an origin story. It was legitimately a well thought out movie, and you actually had really good characterization. David Cornsweet. Goodness, I have a problem saying his name. David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnan, and Nicholas Hoult. They played their roles perfectly. Same with Nathan Fillion and Isabella Merced. But I would say the person who stole the show was Edie Gathecki. Oh God, I keep having an issue with saying his name. Edie Gathecki as Mr. Terrific. Oh my God, the scene on the beach was so amazing, and he's literally he may not seem like he's a main character, he should be at the top, but he's one of the 5 major characters of this movie. Whereas Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, and Metamorpho, who's played by one of my favorite actors, whose name I always tend to forget. Good Lord, why am I having this issue? Let's look at the cast. There we go. Anthony Kerrigan, who played Metamorpho. They also did wonderful jobs in that movie. And Anthony Kerrigan is always a favorite of mine. Whenever he shows up in any project, I'm paying attention to that man because he's a really good actor. And oh my God, did they make Jimmy very true to the comic book character? Oh good Lord, he was a little player. He was a little player in this show. All the women were just wanting him, and he had the freckles. Yeah, he had the freckles. So, good casting overall. So what do I want to talk about? Oh yeah. So here's where the real spoiler warning goes. Okay, so because this is where I'm going to go deep dive. So I don't know what part of the video I'm in. I don't know how much I edited it, but like once I figure out how long it's been edited, I'm going to put like a little caption saying this is it. However, here's a spoiler. David Cornswag is a great Superman. Okay, so in this movie, they change up the status quo of Superman's parents, and I mean like his actual like Kryptonian parents. Okay, like even after you find out the twist, you're still trying to figure out if it could have been possibly doctored, and they keep saying throughout the movie that was a real message. And oh my god, does it like flip things on its head? And I'm still not even spoiling it. That's the funny thing. But it does flip things on its head, and that's what causes all of the main strife of the movie. Um, and by the end of the movie, like Superman is not focused on his Kryptonian parents and their words anymore. He's now more focused on um, his the parents who raised him, the Kents, and not only that, but the Kents in this movie are well done as well. They actually showed them as a legitimately older farm family. Um, uh, they have that like real legitimate southern or like farmer way of talking. The slow. Think Muriel from Courage the Cowardly Dog. That think them Muriel and I forget the husband's name. Think their kind of cadence and all that stuff, and it was wonderful. In all honesty, it even made my heart kind of go a little bit more because they didn't make his parents like really somewhat attractive parents. No offense to them, they are attractive in their own ways, but they didn't make his parents into the um, legitimate like uh, uh, the Hollywood attractive like in shape uh, people. They actually made them look more realistic than anything, and more true to the comic books, I would say. Because in the comic books, John Kent, Pa Kent, he was kind of, out of shape at that point. Um, when Superman was Superman. Um, you know, Martha is kind of up there in age. It makes sense. I enjoyed James Gunn's interpretation of the Kents in this movie, and I'm so thankful that he gave us a legitimately a legitimate uh, depiction of what I would think the Kent family would be. Also, Metamorpho, they did him justice in this movie. Okay, they did him real justice. Um, I'm so happy they actually introduced him because that's a character that you wouldn't think would ever show up in live action anything. Metamorpho, of all people, I bet you they spent more money on Metamorpho's look and abilities than they spent on anybody else's abilities, in my opinion. Because when you really look at everything, they do such a great job. There's such great transitions. The way, like, at one point, Superman is rushing to get to the Fortress of Solitude near the middle of the movie. You can actually see him going through a whole bunch of different weather patterns. The way they like actually show his flight sometimes really feels like you're really in there with him. Like you're feeling the like speed in which he's going. like it's a bumpy ride and all that stuff, and he's going through all this stuff, and you're seeing it mm, like straight up. It's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah, I can't wait to the next one. But as you've probably already heard, at the end of the movie, Supergirl shows up, drunk, and you also find out that Crypto is her dog, and they are both a mess. They are both a mess. But it just makes you want to see the Supergirl movie that's coming up next. That's the next movie that's going to be in the DC in James Gunn's DCU, and I can't wait. Like, I'm looking forward to it. And it wasn't like in a post credit scene. It wasn't a post credit scene. It was literally before the beginning credits start to roll that you see Supergirl, and that is just perfect. And I can't wait to that movie, so I can see how she goes from this drunk mess of a woman to being a legitimate hero. I feel like I can't wait to see that characterization go on. But most and foremost, I'm so happy that in this Superman thing, they do like a little nice like credit intro at the beginning of the movie, similar to like Star Wars, but I mean, there's a obvious like factor of 3, and I should go see the movie one more time to see if I can, if 3 is a very specific number in the movie, because I mean they're talking about like 3,000 years ago at the beginning of the movie, 3,000 years ago, 300 years ago, 3 years ago Superman came, 3 months ago Superman did something in the country and prevented one country from invading another country, and then 3 minutes ago Superman got his butt kicked for the first time. Literally, it was interesting, but they were talking about 3 a lot, and also with the Justice Gang in this movie. There's only 3 of them, like, so they haven't set up any more members for this Justice Gang or Proto Justice League group. Why is it 3 and Superman? You know, there are a whole bunch of 3s in this movie, and I'm still trying to figure out why. Why is there 3s? I feel like there's like a secret thing about that. But like I said, overall, movie was fire. The movie is fire. I highly recommend this movie to anyone, to everyone. But yeah, I guess I need to like kind of. I think I'm gonna cut it a little short. Okay, I can't say I'm gonna cut it a little short. I'm already at 30 minutes according to my like timer on my recording. So I feel like there's something else I want to talk about, but I can't really come up with it right now. Look, I already explained my hair, the hair change, my Deca driver. Oh yes, I'm so happy about this. And watching Superman. So I think I think at the end of this week I'm gonna go see the Fantastic Four First Steps movie, which I've also been looking forward to. Man, I've seen more movies this year than I have in like a few years, surprisingly, in theaters, surprisingly. So I'm gonna get back on my like Stargate. I'm sorry, not Star Trek. My Stargate watch through, because all of a sudden I want to watch some more Stargate. I just found out that Prime has pretty much every episode of Stargate and the movie on it. So I want to check it out. And Paramount. Oh, by the way, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. If you don't realize, the first 2 episodes of season 3 is finally out. So I already watched them, and the second episode basically confirms a theory that people have had for a long period of time. And you're going to hear a very recognizable voice if you're a fan of Star Trek The Next Generation and season 2 of Star Trek Picard. Yeah, I'm loving it. Also, if you're also unaware, the trailer for Mortal Kombat came out recently. Same with the trailer for Stranger Things Season 5, the final season. And that looks good. Mortal Kombat 2 looks good too. Especially with Carl Urban. I'm having trouble with names right now. Especially with Carl Urban playing Johnny Cage. I think it actually is going to work, surprisingly. Can't wait till Stranger Things Season 5 comes out. That's going to start in November. And, one other thing I feel like I'm missing right now. And anime-wise, Dan to Dan. The new season of Dan to Dan has started. First 3 episodes out at this point as I'm talking. And the first 2 episodes of season 2 of Kaiju number 8 are on now as well. I mean, technically the second episode is the main beginning season 2. The first episode is more like a slice of life before all the events of the end of season 1. Before Kafka actually shows off his Kaiju number 8 powers to his squad. Anywho, time for more Stargate, or possibly some more Bernie Mac. I don't know when I'm going to fall asleep to. But anyhow, I'm going to release this whenever I get done with editing. Hopefully I edited it perfectly. And surprisingly, I don't think I spoiled too much of the movie. Oh, yeah. I just also have one thing to say. Good dog. Good dog. Crypto. Good dog, Crypto. Because, this is a very big spoiler right here. Crypto beats the shit out of Lex. Yeah. Crypto beats the shit out of Lex, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. The way it happened, you're not expecting it. Like, go see the movie. And I'm not even telling you when it happens. But let's just say, you're not expecting that particular thing to happen at that exact moment. And when it happens, you're just like, oh, God, God. Everybody, it's just pandemonium. If you didn't laugh at that, I was laughing my butt off. Okay? But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace.